All right, welcome back. We are here again, Aphelion Everlasting. Shit's popping. We are going to do a real quick recap, and then we will get back to it. When we last played, we were in the process of having you guys try to leave Tesmaya, being marked as Keno. And in the process, one of you was able to escape. The other two were waiting comfortably on the ship. And the fourth, unfortunately, through some very unfortunate rolls, drew the attention of one of the guards. And through a very, very tense fight underwater, were able to actually escape. However, this in turn led to you guys eventually being captured. And all four of you were brought to imprisonment to await sentencing. You were joined by your two recent companions, Chase and Theta 3. Some words were had, some very unsavory sounds were made by the jail cells themselves. Yeah.
Oh, don't remind me.
And
It's an effective prison.
yeah, it's a very
Always keeps you on
effective-
edge.
Yes, exactly.
No one wants to touch that.
Nobody wants to mess with that.
I'm never going to prison again.
I'm going to be a law-abiding citizen.
It's like Pavlov conditioning. Next time we hear, we're all just gonna like get up against the wall and like
Shit.
So, didn't do nothing.
You gotta make a will save, or otherwise you just do it.
You were brought before another tribunal at which they were about to decide your sentencing. You guys had offered some deals. A slave relationship, I guess, was kind of proposed.
More like indentured servitude.
Yeah.
Don't put words in our mouths, T.
a big promise is what it was.
A very big promise. And before the deliberation concluded, the tribunal was interrupted. A messenger arrived indicating that there was actually no contact from Abyss Station. If you recall, that was where you guys had originally, you came to Kalamohoy in the first place for a information data card from there, and it indicated that there was a new photo or like a protobacteria that was discovered, and that is where we're picking up as the leader of the tribunal, who after you guys had kind of I guess the situation kind of disarmed a little bit, and reintroduced himself as Cert Tempest. He was the leader of the guard of Tesmaya.
Wait. Who was Sir Tempest?
Cert Tempest.
Cert Tempest.
He was the person presiding over the tribunal, over that case, or the court case, I guess. You guys were making your pleas for innocence, and had offered at the end of it a second chance, as you were forcefully volunteering, or being forced to volunteer, we'll say, to go and investigate with Chase and Theta 3 as the only vehicle that could navigate down to the crushing depths in a timely fashion happened to be their submersible.
Yep.
And that's where we'll be picking it up, and it'll be just as the courtroom is dispersing. You are allowed to leave the courtroom area, but this is more of a kind of judicial area at the moment. So,
Where do we get our weapons back?
Oh yeah, that was the last thing we needed to find out about, because you said we'd find out next time.
Where's my gun?
Your equipment was going to be delivered to the submersible when you guys were going to be making your leave.
So, are we like back
back at square one, like when we came to this planet, or are we still Keno, or are we in like some weird in between?
You get the sense that while you aren't, out of the woods yet, they're at least, allowing you to walk around without, being stuck in a jail cell.
Okay.
So really, that's kind of the biggest selling point right now is that you aren't back in the prison. So
Kind of gotten used to it.
but CERT indicates that you have about half an hour while preparations are being made to get the submersible underway. So there's a short kind of window of time that you'll be able to kind of do anything if you need. He's indicated that you guys will be meeting him at the docking bay within the judicial building that you guys are in.
Okay. Let's see here.
And Chase and Theta 3 have gone ahead to the submersible to get things ready.
Thank you.
And also probably, as they were leaving, Chase was kind of muttering like, I better find everything in place.
Do we have time to go shopping?
You have half an hour.
Yeah.
And you have no idea actually where you are.
Yep.
We
Because,
probably can't do any shopping because we're probably still Keno.
Yeah.
like I
Yeah,
said,
we have no
you
idea where
guys,
the
you guys are being allowed to essentially just kind of like,
Not be arrested.
yeah, not be arrested. Just kind of gather your thoughts, and really, it's just kind of, you meet me here in 30 minutes. So you're kind of like, you have all your equipment except for your weapons, but they stated that those will be loaded onto the submersible.
Will we be getting any extra support? Or is that
I mean,
just
are
of
you
the stuff we're carrying?
are you asking somebody? Because right now you guys are essentially kind of
Is
still
it just us four?
It's
Or Chase and
Chase and Theta 3 had gone to prep their submersible, and while you guys are not in the jail anymore, you are kind of just outside of the kind of room that you guys were in. That was where the hearing had taken place, and there are quite a few Kahlo around, and while they're not just like outright, staring at you, you do notice that one or two are just kind of standing guard. This is like a security kind of checkpoint, essentially, of inside the building itself.
Do you remember when Chase said that he kind of scoffed at the fact that we took on this case? Saying like, oh, you took that? That's the kind of low level, like beneath him. I kind of find it a little bit funny now that he's forced into helping us.
Right? It's poetic.
It's karma for him.
Yeah.
I'm pretty much good to go.
You're good to go, Ted?
I'm as ready as I could ever be. I don't know how I'll deal with going down even deeper, but
Where's Buzz? You got Buzz?
well, he's right here.
Yep,
It's fine.
Buzz is on his back.
Not going to be of much use down there, but we'll make do.
Good. What about you, Skada?
Born ready, dude.
You were born?
I was born, and I was born ready.
Did you still leave your hat behind?
You
Or do you have that with
Your
you
hat,
right now?
Your hat's back in Brackius,
yeah,
is
man.
back on the Bracchius.
Yeah.
Yep.
Along with my gun
Yep.
and our weapons. Both of our weapons, I guess.
Well, they're going to be returned to us.
yeah.
Yeah, we'll say that for the sake of brevity that you had indicated that you need your weapon.
Well, I would imagine when they got arrested off of the ship, like forcibly disembarked from their own ship, that they probably confiscated whatever was on board at that point.
Actually, I found it.
Yeah, I was gonna say he kind of indicated that he hid the weapon or he stowed it away. But anyways, so good to go. Anything else you guys wanted? Like I said, you just have kind of a short time period before you're supposed to be escorted
Is
to
there any like
the docking
kiosk,
area.
information kiosk that I can look up the abyss? Like, what's all down there? What can I prepare myself for?
I mean, you can certainly approach. There's a what amounts to like a sergeant's desk, kind of in the main hub of where you are. It's kind of like a circular room, and there's just branching paths in different directions. But there is like mall kiosk style right in the middle.
I'm picturing the police lobby from RoboCop.
Yep. Yeah. That's actually what I was going. I was kind of like thinking in my head. Was like,
So can I step up to a terminal and see if I can access information about the abyss?
yeah, you step forward and you try to access the terminal. It looks like as you access it, it's just like kind of a kind of like access denied sort of thing. One of the Kahlo kind of behind the desk doing some kind of administrative work kind of looks up, sees the flash, kind of squints at you.
Can I do it again? Just make that error noise.
Yeah, it's
And I
Murphy.
slowly like lift my head up at him and then try to do it again.
and he just kind of steps forward. Yes.
I'm trying to access information about the abyss,
And
and I keep doing it.
he kind of like reaches over, and his like webbed hand kind of like pushes your fingers out of the way, and he like holds his hand over it, and he's like, "You will not have access to this terminal, but what is it that you are looking for?"
I need to know about the conditions that we'll be heading into.
He kind of looks at you. And why, pray tell, is it that you need this information?
To help me better understand your habitat and to, well, I'm a scientist and I like to know beforehand.
Persuasion check.
I'm Doctor Two.
Ooh, not going with,
No, not yet, not
Oh.
yet,
not yet?
not yet.
Okay.
Persuasion. Where is that? Just diplomacy then?
Oh, yeah, diplomacy,
Okay,
sorry.
Just there's 14.
14? Kind of squints at you. And one of the guards who was like stationed kind of nearby, just watching you guys, kind of meets eye contact. They're wearing their suits, so it's kind of like two murky, kind of like luminescent kind of ovals, just like staring at each other. And the one kind of you notice a little bit of a nod as the other one. He like starts tapping on his data pad, sends you a little bit of information, and it indicates that Abyss Station, rough guess, is probably about anywhere from 10 to 12 hours travel underwater. It is actually located at the Deep Fall Ravine, and it is at the depth that it's at is about 6 miles beneath the surface.
Deep Fall Ravine.
Deep Fall Ravine.
And how many miles?
6 miles,
miles.
deep. Right now you guys are about, a mile and a half, but it's kind of weird. It's like the crushing depths that you would think would normally be involved with a mile and a half underwater. Surprisingly, it seems like just the chamber that you guys are in is, there's some weird sort of like oceanic sort of effect that's going on that
Right.
you're not feeling kind of the crushing kind of doom that comes with that far down. Well, most of you, anyways. The Isoki in your party isn't a big fan of getting wet, but. And also, what he does, he actually sends you a kind of general layout. You guys should have it now, actually. Mm-hmm. I texted it to you.
Oh,
It's not like the name, the labeling isn't super clear, but it's clear enough to like for visual.
Right, it's for more visuals than anything. But it looks like the facility, just judging by the information, seems to be oceanic and geological and just kind of study of marine life native to Kalamoy. It seems that there's a small crew station there. It indicates that there's 5 on average. Staff on hand, and it indicates that they're just really they're really used for, or it's kind of purpose is varied. It's a very
Multi-purpose.
multi-purpose and almost kind of generic looking research facility.
So it's research.
It's most definitely research. It indicates that it's actually common study area, or it's a common place to have many people in the same field of study, like geology, oceanography, marine biology, that come from many different planets. Starfinder Society fronted the majority of the cost, and it appears that they are in co-ownership with the Callow people in terms of who owns the station.
Similar.
Thank you for that information. What'd you say your name was?
Chet.
Okay. Thank you, Chet.
Like CH apostrophe CH
Chet
apostrophe
et.
2.
It's
T.
Chet.
Just put Che apostrophe T.
Chet. So, you get the feeling that it's a good amount of information, and probably what you would have picked up on the
In that
kiosk. It seems
time
like
frame, I
Yeah.
wasn't expecting much, but
no, but
Better than nothing.
I want to know what I want to know.
right.
Well, no.
So,
It's my money. I want it now.
so the
Before I leave, I tried to do it one more time and just hurriedly
he
go
is,
away.
and he's just like
I'm
you
gone.
hear him kind of like it sounds like he's kind of muttering something in the Callow language. Nothing you understand, but
Yep, I'm
odds
not.
are it's probably a little bit of agitation in his voice.